Hey everybody, it's Flyin Ryan here, and today I'm going to be comparing a can of soda with a grenade. No, I'm just kidding. These are actually both little mini RC cars. These all-in-one containers. This one comes in a little can of Coke, and this one, for whatever reason, comes in a grenade. And this one's pretty interesting because the grenade is actually the controller as well. So you've got your forward and backward and left and right buttons all right there on the grenade. And then it opens up here in the bottom to get to your car. And then there's an antenna that stores in there that you've got to screw into the top there. And there's also a charging port on the back there. This one is a little less sort of all contained. It's got a few more parts here you've got to take out, and then the can itself is useless, but it does come with a couple little racing pylons so you can set up a track if you want, so that's kind of cool. And then this one has an actual transmitter, and so there's a little button here that you've got to press, and then you can slide the car off, and then you've got your antenna that screws into the top here. So this one, it has an actual transmitter, which some people may prefer. It's a little more natural, but I found that the range on this one is ridiculous, like 3 or 4 feet. Literally, if I hold this at my chest with the antenna pointed up, it will not connect to the car on the ground. I've got to hold it down as low as my hands will go with the antenna pointed down and kind of follow the car around to try to keep a signal. So I found that really frustrating. I would constantly lose the connection with that one. Whereas this one has a much better range. I never did lose the signal with this one. Let's go ahead and take it out. It just kind of slides out and the antenna clips out of there. Both of these, this one the batteries go in here, and this one the batteries go in the transmitter. They both take 2 AA batteries, and they both charge off of the units themselves. This one has a little charging cable on the side of the transmitter there, and they only take like 1.5 minutes to charge, and you get like 15 minutes of runtime. So pretty impressive on that end. Again, this one, the antenna screws into the top. So this one had much better range, though I did find myself constantly kind of getting confused with left and right. Like there's not really a great way to hold the controller, so you're doing forward and backwards and then left and right, so I kind of try to hold it sideways and go like this, but sometimes it would just kind of break my brain a little bit remembering which was left and right, just kind of depending on how you were holding the controller. But that's kind of a minor issue that you get used to pretty quick. And they are very similar, but not quite the same. And you can see the Coke can car has a little bit bigger wheels, and it's a little bit bigger altogether. But very similar otherwise. They both have headlights that light up when they go forward and brake lights that light up when they go backwards. Though the Coke can car, the headlights are kind of yellow, whereas the grenade car, they're nice and bright and white. So I like the lights much better on the grenade car, though on the grenade car, one of my brake lights does not work. So just a little minor defect, but and then I also found the grenade car to be faster, but because of the smaller wheels, it has barely any ground clearance. I mean, you can see it is just barely off the ground. So even just like between the tiles on my kitchen floor where there's just a little bit of a bump, it would tend to hit that bump, and then sometimes it even catches on the little steering trim here and knocks the trim way off. So I constantly had to stop and pick up the car to change the trim back because it would get caught. So that's pretty frustrating. And then this one, has the same deal. It has a steering trim, but this one never got caught. It seemed to have better ground clearance, and there was no problem with the trim getting caught. But this one just drives better. It's faster. It controls better. The left and right turns are very equal, whereas on the Coke can car, the left turns seem to get they get like countered out by the torque of the engine, so it doesn't or actually no, it's backwards. The left turns go with the torque, so left turns would tend to be really sharp and it would spin out, whereas right turns are going against the torque and they would be a little bit smoother. So yeah, left turns on this one got really squirrely, whereas left turns with this one, I didn't have problems spinning out. I think really that's about all there is to say about them, so let's go drive them around and I'll kind of show you what they look like driving and see if you can see the differences in action. Alright, we'll go check that out. Alright, this is the little comparison run of the mini RC car, Coke can car, and the grenade car. I wanted to mention too that the grenade car is $12 and there are 4 different colors, but you don't get to choose your color, which I'm not a big fan of them doing that. And the Coke can car is only $8 and there are 8 different colors and you get to pick your color. So fairly substantial price difference, though I still believe that the grenade car is a better car. It's more fun to drive. So we'll start by turn them on with a little switch here on the bottom. Turn the cars on, and then the controllers are always ready to go. When you press a button, then they start working. So we'll show you the headlights there on the grenade car are nice and bright and white. And then the headlights on the Coke can car are yellow for some reason. So not as impressed with the headlights on that one. Let's put them side by side and see if I can do a little bit of a drag race to show top speeds. See if they both go straight for long enough to actually compare. So let's see what happens. Well, about the same actually on that one. So let's start out with the Coke can car. So, you know, not super fast. See, I've already lost. It's so ridiculous. I don't understand the range on this thing. So you kind of have to go around pointing at the car. So there's the left turn tends to spin out even though it's not going very fast. I think just because the torque of the motor makes the left turn stronger. Alright, well, there's that one. So now let's check out the grenade car for a bit. And this one I find much more enjoyable, though it does tend to have problems with the bottoming out and messing up the trim. But as you can see, I don't have any signal issues with this where I keep losing the signal. It works all the way across the room. And it just drives a lot nicer to me. I think it's just more fun to drive, seems more controllable. There it's bouncing into just the slightest bump between tiles. Looks like so far it hasn't messed up the trim yet, though, at least. And there's show you the brake lights. So I don't know if that's coming through in the light or not, but the left one doesn't work. No big deal, really. So, you know, not the fastest things, but for $8 or $12, they're not bad. They're, you know, fully control, left, right, forward, backwards, so that's cool. You can kind of sometimes do fun little spin outs if you throw it in a reverse while you turn. Kind of gives it a sharper turn. I also found you get sharper turns if you let off the throttle kind of as you turn. You want to get it, Elsie? She's more curious about ground vehicles than the air vehicles. She has tried to attack this a few times. Well, it looks like, I think the battery's kind of weakened a bit just sitting charged overnight. I thought they normally seemed a little faster than this. But anyway, I think that's a good enough look at how they drive. You know, both pretty decent, though I think the range issues with the Coke can car really kills it. So, you know, it's your choice, whichever one you thought was cooler. I think they're both fun little toys to have. Alright, cool. Well, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.